Throughout your career so far, which season, and it's not necessarily related to the team success,
Yeah.
but which season do you think you've played the best to how you wanted to play?
That's an interesting question. I think it was my first season at Wolfsburg.
Okay.
Because of my goals and assists.
How many was it?
I don't know, actually. I don't know the exact number.
That means it's
Lost
a lot.
count.
That means
Lost
it's a lot.
count.
That means
No,
it's a
no,
lot, yeah.
no. But I think that was, for example, at Wolfsburg, we played very direct football, very different from here. And I was a bit the weird one who is more the football one, but that worked very well in that first season.
Okay.
And we played really with 110, which was me, so I had a lot of space. So.
Did you win the double that year? Was it that year, a
Yeah.
league and a
Yeah.
cup?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good season.
Very.
Yeah.
And then season after that, getting to a Champions League
Yeah.
final and winning the cup again. I mean, your time at Wolfsburg, it was brief, but as you say, there was so much success to go with that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's also the reason why I wanted to go to Wolfsburg. Obviously, I was fine at Arsenal, but I felt like I wasn't as special there as I would be at Wolfsburg because there were more players that were similar to me at Arsenal. And yeah, it turned out actually very well. I was, as I said, I was a bit the odd one, and we won a lot. I scored a lot, but as I said, also as a team, we won a lot. So there were 2 very good years.
Yeah. This might be quite a sort of what's the word? Sort of directed question, but like you've just got to a Champions League final, you've won 2 cups and the league 2 years at Wolfsburg. Why did you then want to come to City off the back of that?
I noticed a bit of a difference in my first season and the second season at Wolfsburg in terms of the way we played. I think Wolfsburg, they have a lot of qualities. They play very direct football, as I said, and there were many games where I wouldn't touch many balls, which also wasn't necessary because we had speed up front, we had pop with headers, crosses, and everything. But I felt like in the second season it was less football than in my first season, and I was scared it would stay that way. And I think with City, it suits me perfectly. And it's also a feeling that I got from the chats with Gas and the club, and the English league is obviously the best league at the moment.
I mean, looking at your first few weeks, you've joined this team and settled in perfectly. Is there anyone in particular that you've maybe been surprised by of how well they've sort of performed, or on the training pitch you're thinking, wow, actually, I knew they were good, but they've gone up a level? Or has anyone also said something similar to you, even sort of said, I know what you can do, but blooming heck,
I mean, I can. There are a few people, obviously. In prison, I played a lot with Hempel on the left side. Obviously, I know she's an amazing player, but I think in training you can really see how good she is. And in games playing with her. And same for Bunny. I didn't really know Bunny from name and from the statistic, but I've never really seen her play that much. But yeah, she's a very special player.
There's been a lot of talk as well, obviously, about the Chelsea game that happened recently. I mean, what a game it was. I mean, to watch as a spectator, but what was that like to play in as well? Because I mean, it had everything, didn't it, that game?
Yeah, it was crazy actually. That's the weirdest game I've ever played, with all the decisions. I think we started amazing 1-0 up, and then we got a red card. In what was it, 27 minutes? Well, obviously that early against Chelsea with 10 is very difficult. And I was just thinking, we need to get to half time at least with this score, and then second half, then we can have a rest and talk, and then the second half we'll see. In the meantime, many people got yellows for, like talking, and I don't know. Like I never really had the feeling that they got very dangerous. The second half continued, and they had the ball obviously all the time, but they didn't really create much. So I think the longer it stayed 1-0 for us, like the more belief you have. Obviously, then Hempo got red as well. That was a bit too much. 11 versus 9. And I think where they scored, we had even Alana had to go out. So, yeah, 1-1 in the end, I think is a very good result if you see how the game went.
And the way that the team's been playing, I mean, that game was an example of the grit to go with the quality that's got. But when you come off the pitch and sort of the dust settled a little bit, does it make you think, this team, you know what? I don't want to tempt fate here, but this team could go the distance here. It must be quite exciting.
No, I actually think that the game, like, helped us a lot, like, can help us a lot. Because from what I've heard, this team plays very good football, but the side that, like, what we showed against Chelsea, that's what's sometimes missing. So I think this can very, like, help us a lot. And, yeah, I mean, it brought us more together, I think, as well.
Just finally, I wanted to talk about your international career so far, because you've obviously, to say that you're still approaching your peak years, you've made almost 100 national team appearances, which is incredible. And then this summer as well, is it 4 goals, which is, I believe, the most for a Dutch player at a Women's World Cup single tournament anyway. I mean, how special is it to represent your country, and how proud are you of what you've achieved so far?
Yeah, I love playing for Holland. Obviously, it's special. And yeah, I've been there since I was 17. I made my debut. I mean, there were tough times also. I've been on the bench for quite a bit, for a few years. So I had to wait long. But right now, since a few years, I've been playing everything. And yeah, I love it. It's special. I think we have a special group. And last few years we had difficult times, but I think right now we're going in the right direction again, and let's see what we can do in the next years.
Do you feel like, obviously it was Spain in the World Cup and went to extra time and so on, do you feel like if you'd played Spain later in the tournament or just avoided them at that point that you could have got even further?
Yeah, I think any other team at that point we would have beaten. Just Spain is a very good team anyway. I think they deserve to win also, but they also don't suit us at all. So I don't think if later in the tournament we would have beaten them, but I think any other team we would have. So that was a shame, but yeah.